Hi everyone, it's May 9th and I'm going to be transplanting some Sahara zinnias indoors. It's really cold outside right now, so I'm really glad my zinnias are still indoors. I love to grow indoors, so zinnias work very well for me growing indoors, but you can also direct sow them outside, which I know a lot of you do. But I enjoy the process. I enjoy the growing indoors. I enjoy the transplanting. It's very therapeutic, and I just like to share how I do it here in my home. So let's get started. Okay, now I normally just show you how I do it, right? Everybody's got their own way, and I get a lot of comments on different things that people do, and which is fine. I always say do what works for you. I sow these indoors to get a little head start on the season. Normally you need to sow them 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost in your area. I will in the future try to grow some and direct sow them outside, because that's what a lot of you do. So I have often read that they don't like their roots disturbed, so just be very careful. Honestly, when you let them rest for a day, not under lights, you're going to be fine. They usually do just fine. I just take them like so, push them down in the soil. Now again, these are the Sahara. They don't get real leggy. They stay bushy, and they are just really nice to grow. When I look at these plants, I usually look at the bigger ones, and I like to put the bigger ones together in the 6-pack sales. That's how I like to do it. So I go all the way down in the soil and just tug them out gently. So I'm getting a lot of the roots, aren't I? So it's going to be fine. I like to show you my way of growing, because this is how I did it when I had the greenhouse. When I did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plants. This is how I grew. If you're just growing for yourself, sure, you can do it totally different if you want. That's up to you. But look at that. Don't that look nice? I also like to put a little more soil around them when I'm done. So I'm just going to continue transplanting and kind of talk about zinnias a little bit. Zinnias, love it in a full sun area. They thrive in a sunny area at least 6 hours a day. Try not to plant them too crowded, because they can have a tendency to get powdery mildew if they don't have good circulation. This variety here, the Sahara series, I've never had any powdery mildew problems, because they're supposed to be more resistant to it. And I plant these pretty close together, and so far so good. Again, I like to plant the smaller ones together, the bigger ones together in the cell. This was supposed to be 100 seeds. It germinated very well, didn't it? These were germinated on a heating mat. This is a commercial heating mat that just works really good for me. And again, I used it when I had the greenhouse production. You can get smaller heating mats that work just as well if you're just growing a few plants at a time. My technique is this. I just dig a little hole, use my thumb, and push them down gently. And don't break the stem. It works very well. You can see I got some smaller ones here. I'm going to leave them. I might just add them with one of the others. So when you water these, when they start growing outdoors, you're going to want to water, if you can, if they are susceptible to powdery mildew, water them near the bottom of the stem. Don't overhead water them once they're growing out, because if you get a bunch of water on the leaves, then they are very susceptible. And also, if you have a humid and kind of some areas where it gets cooler at night, you're definitely going to have some problems. I normally just plant this in a well-drained soil. I haven't needed to fertilize. My ground is pretty good, but you can fertilize your plants if you choose, and I'm not even going to recommend it because I get so many people will say something about what you recommend and they don't like it. So I just say always do your research and see what's best for zinnias if you want to fertilize them. Never really had an issue with any problems with the Zahari or the Perfusion series on the zinnias. They always stay green for me. And they're just amazing little plants. It's very enjoyable to transplant. I just love doing it. But we're getting them. Looks like I'm going to have another flat or half a flat. The zinnias I got indoors right now are doing pretty good, the ones I transplanted. So you can see some of these. Let's put one more, miss one. Some of these I just like to add a little soil. When I get all done transplanting, I just kind of shake it like that and it kind of settles in. And you can add a little soil, doesn't hurt it. And then what I've been using this year is I had some old fish and poo emulsions. That's what I call it. Just going to water them in with that. It's just an organic fertilizer. Water them in pretty good. And then once I get this done, these guys do not go under lights until tomorrow sometime. They need to rest. And it works very well every time. So I'm going to finish here and then I'll show you what I got. Okay? So there is where they'll sit for a good day. And then tomorrow I'll put them under my shop lights indoors. Once we get warm outside, they're going to go out in the greenhouse. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I do a few transplant videos and I just enjoy doing it, so I just thought, well, why not just record it and then throw some tips in there, because I like sharing that stuff with you all. Because I know the zinnias are very popular. I get a lot of feedback from zinnias. A lot of people are growing them. But just remember, plant them in a good sunny area, well-drained soil. Don't overcrowd them if you are growing a variety that is susceptible to powdery mildew, because they need that air circulation. Some varieties are resistant, but resistant doesn't always mean they will not get powdery mildew. I have had real good results with Perfusion and the Zahari series. They do not get powdery mildew, and knock on wood, I haven't had insect problems with those either. Very pleased with them. If you want to fertilize them and you want to stay more organic, there's a lot of things on the market you can do. I do share some of the things. I like to go organic, but I do other fertilizers sometimes. It just depends on what I'm growing. I also throw a lot of composted stuff down in my soil to help incorporate some good bacteria and all the good nutrients that it needs. So that also helps too. There's a lot of things you can do. But I always research, you know, some things, because I don't know all the science of everything. You know, I'm still learning at my age, and I've been growing a long time. Since zinnias can handle and prefer a little drier soil as they mature, when you do water near the lower area of the plant. I wouldn't do any overhead watering on the leaves. It just works better, and that's how I water my zinnias most of the time. Now, it's not all the time, but most of the time. But this really helped my lily-put zinnias that I believe I had powdery mildew on them one year, but it might have been all the rains and stuff we had. There were some different climate issues we were having. So you never really know how your plants are going to do, because some years are totally different than other years, and the weather can change, you know, so differently. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you when you water. Make sure you at least are watering, if you're really dry in your area, I would at least get watering once a week really good. Just water them in really good. Okay? This is once they're established. Now, if they're not established plants yet and you're hot out, I water them every day until they get their root system intact in the ground. They start spreading out their roots, and you can kind of tell if you look at the plant. You can kind of tell if they wilt really easy, then they're not getting enough moisture. So hope that's helped. So I plan to grow more zinnias in the future, different cultivars and colors, and you know, different varieties of zinnias, and they're going to be on my new channel because I want to niche it down to just specific videos for this channel. So I hope you subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Share this video if you like, and if it's helped in any way. You got any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll do my best to answer them. In the meantime, we'll see you in the next video, and we'll talk soon. Bye. If you like this video, can I get a thumbs up? Hit the subscribe button, click on the notification bell to get notified of all my new video content. Thank you, and I will see you next time.